name is Maya, and welcome to my channel, Cranley Place, where I'm posting content on scarf style, knot tutorials, and more. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to be notified of new videos, which I'm publishing weekly. Today, I'll talk about some of the Hermès small format scarves, like the Nano 20 centimeter scarves, doll twillies, the Nano losanges, the medium model Blason losanges, and the fringed twillies. Maybe you've already ventured and bought some of these, or you could be on the fence like me. At any rate, I'll take a closer look at each of these, talk about some of the styling options, and share my thoughts on these newer petite formats. If you looked at the Nano scarves, they are quite small, measuring 20 by 20 centimeters, or that's about 7.9 inches squared. For reference, here's a pocket square, which I've folded in quarters. That's about the same size of a Nano. Or here's a tissue. That's basically the size that you're looking at with these scarves. In terms of design, these really are miniature versions of the full-size scarves. They're silk twill with the hand-rolled edges, etc. But how do you wear them? Of course, probably the first thought is on the bag, not necessarily to wrap the handle, but as a tie-on decoration. There are a few other ideas on the Hermès website, like around the wrist, just like you can with a twilly, or around your ankle. Decorating your back pocket. Personally, I'd be afraid of it getting dirty and, more importantly, falling out somewhere and getting lost, but maybe that's just me. Here's an example tied on a finger. I'm not sure I'd wear that either, mainly because I have more important jewelry that I wear daily, but that's just a personal preference. Here's one showed tied to an earring. To be honest, I don't think I'd wear it like this either, but it's certainly an idea. So a few ways that I could imagine myself using this very small scarf, aside from on a bag. Earlier, I showed you the back pocket example. I could totally see this as a pocket square tucked in a jacket front pocket, a lot like these heart-shaped pocket squares. Although for reference, the heart ones are about the same width, but a tiny bit longer than the Nanos. I've also seen the Nanos tied on Hermès Oran sandals. They have the H cut out that lends itself readily to this really tiny scarf format, and it's a nice little decoration. You could certainly use it in your hair to tie around a ponytail or the base of a bun. At this size, depending on your hair thickness, you could probably also wrap your bun with it. I'd be a bit concerned about puncturing it with a hairpin, but I think that it could be secured with elastics. What if you wanted to wear a Nano somehow on your neck? Well, let's do the math. Remember the Pythagorean theorem and how you thought you'd never use it again? Well, here's a practical application to figure out the diagonal measure. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. For a Nano with each side being 7.9 inches, let's just call it 8. 8 squared is 64, times 2 is 128. So we're looking at the square root of 128, which is about 11.3 inches. Now, the average woman's neck circumference is reportedly around 13.5 inches. So, unless you have a really tiny neck, you are not going to be able to tie this around without some help. And by help, specifically, I'm thinking of other scarves. Maybe another Nano, a twilly, a pocket square, or maybe the large size Moore's ring, which will give you another 4 and change inches. You get the idea. Let's talk about the doll twillies. These are also quite small, measuring less than an inch in width, 0.8 to be exact, and almost 21 inches in length. That length is a bit longer than the pocket squares, but with this width, a doll twilly is really essentially a ribbon. Like the Nano, you could use it on a bag handle, around your ankle or wrist, in your hair. This could be braided, in addition to using it around a ponytail or a bun, or you could use it on your Oran sandals or something like that. Or maybe it's in combination with a Nano, another doll twilly, a regular twilly or pocket square, or even to secure a larger size scarf, the 70s, the 90s, etc. Let's look at the Nano losanges. For each, the pattern will be unique, cut on a random part of the scarf. With its diamond shape, measuring 10.2 inches by 31.5 inches, you're getting close to twilly length, off by only about half an inch. So really, with this length, I think you could treat this size in the same way that you would a twilly, styling it in as many creative ways as you would with that scarf size. I like that the Nano losanges could be worn around the neck without the help of any scarf rings or other scarves. Where I think the colors and patterns could get really interesting is in combination with other Nano losanges, twillies, gavroches, or even the larger format scarves. The Blason losanges, medium models, measure about 19 inches by 45 inches. These remind me of the old plissé scarves that Hermès used to make, except obviously these ones aren't pleated. It looks like they do come in some patterns, but at least right now on the US website, there are only solid colors available. They do look more like what you'd find on the men's side of the house. That's not necessarily a bad thing. For me, though, I do tend towards more color and pattern, but like anything, that is a personal preference. What about the multicolore fringed twillies? For these, the pattern is also random, but in the given color range that you select. I'm assuming that you're ordering on the website. You'd obviously have more choice if you were in store. But each features colorful tassels that are hand-tied at the twilly ends. Overall, these measure 2 inches by 49.2 inches, so you have a bit more length to play with, albeit some of it fringe, but it should still be workable. I haven't talked at all about 45 by 45 or twillies, mainly because those are more mainstream and have been part of the Hermès offering for quite some time now. But the sticker twillies are relatively new. These are the same size as a regular twilly, measuring 2 inches by almost 34 inches, but with a little surprise sewn in a satin stitch on one of the twilly tails. I love these. The so-called sticker adds a touch of whimsy to these already charming petite scarves. Depending on the added design, though, my only concern would be getting that tail through a twilly scarf ring. But I've never handled one of these in person, so if you have experience with one, let me know in the comments. Now, which one of these would I get? Nano scarves, for me, that's probably a no. I certainly wouldn't refuse one as a gift, but I don't see myself getting one of these in the near future. Just for reference, I should add that it did take me years to even try out the twillies, and now I'm addicted, so it could be that I'm just a creature of habit, and it may take me a while to take a liking to these. Doll twillies, I would have to say the same for this. I don't see myself getting any, but again, my preference has always been with the 90 by 90 centimeter scarves. Nano losanges, I would definitely consider, again, because I think you can treat them basically like a twilly, and I do love using those either singly or paired with other sized scarves. Blason losanges, the medium size, this too I would consider if available in more colorful patterns, certainly. And finally, the Multicolore Fringe Twilly. I'm sort of torn on this one, but for now, I think my gut feel is probably no. Regardless of size or pattern, my philosophy has always been that whatever you choose should make your heart sing. Personally, I want to completely love whatever I bring into my collection. No regrets. But again, that's personal preference. You'll know whatever is right for you. So there you have it. A bit about some of the smaller and other format scarves from Hermès and my thoughts on styling them and why or why not I'd consider them. Please like, share, and comment if you enjoyed this video. In future episodes, I'll share other scarf knot tutorials, scarf reviews, and more. So be sure to hit that subscribe button to be notified of new videos. Thanks again for joining me today. Until next time.